little guy would make him harder to hit, but Kellen was kind of mouthy and sarcastic, so he was always one of the first to get targeted. Calder hated Jim. He called the Fairview locker room Funkview Central. He hated that he had to take his cap off in the shower. He thought everybody was staring at him. Dodgeball day was his least favorite day because some of the guys, like Adam Thoen and his friend Scott Johannes, thought it was hilarious to aim at his head. Their goal was to knock off his cap. Headshots were against the rules, but to them, it was worth getting sidelined for a good hit. Evan did not hate dodgeball. He was pretty quick and a good thrower, but he didn't like how everybody ganged up on Kellen and Calder, so he tried to block the ball if they were on the same team, and that meant he took chances and usually got knocked out early. It just wasn't much fun. "Dodgeball isn't compulsory," Evan said. "You could sit it out." "Yeah, right," Kellen said. "And I could tattoo loser on my forehead." He has a point, Evan thought. Bad enough that Kellen was short and sarcastic. Sitting out a dodgeball game would make everybody think he was a wuss. "That'd be a cool tattoo," Calder said. "You should do it." "You should write moron on your head," Kellen said. "And make sure you spell it wrong." Evan was glad he wasn't short. Or bald. He was glad he wasn't big and stupid and mean like Adam Thoen. He was glad he didn't limp like that dog, or have burrs stuck to his face. He was glad there was nothing wrong with him.
2. The dog stopped running once the bus was out of sight. He knew where the bus was going. A big brick school on the edge of town where all the buses went. He had been there, and he did not like it. Too many buses and cars. He sneezed to clear away the diesel fumes, then trotted unevenly across the stubbly cornfield toward the wooded area down by the creek. Twice he stopped to paw at the burrs on his face and bite at the large burr stuck between his toes. He continued limping toward the woods. He avoided the patch of burdock this time, found a narrow opening, and followed a trail down to the creek. He waded into the running stream and drank. The water was cold. It tasted good. It felt nice on his feet. The dog splashed back to the bank, climbed out, and shook himself, then took the path along the creek until the cat house came into view. From the edge of the woods, the dog watched, looking for movement in the windows. Usually, the people were gone in the daytime, but not always. The cat hid when the dog showed up. That was fine with him. He was not interested in the cat. He wanted the food that the cat sometimes left in its bowl on the porch. The dog watched the house for a long time. Finally, when it felt safe, he trotted across the lawn and climbed the steps onto the porch. The bowl was half full. The dog ate the cat's food, then walked around the house to the bird feeder. Sometimes a chunk of suet fell to the ground, and suet was good too, but there was no suet that day. The dog licked up some birdseed. That was not so good. He checked the area around the trash cans. Once, some raccoons had knocked over one of the cans, and the dog had found a whole chicken carcass and had eaten it, bones and all. That had been good. But on this day, the cans were upright, and there were no treats on the ground. The dog headed back to the woods. At the edge of the trees, he stopped and looked back. The cat came out from beneath the porch and pawed forlornly at its empty food bowl. A deer trail led through the trees to a grassy meadow where deer liked to bed down at night. The dog sniffed at each of the depressions in the grass, chose the one that smelled the best, lay down, and worked on ridding himself of the burdock. He pawed the burrs off his face and gnawed at the burr stuck between his toes until it softened and stopped hurting. After a time, he curled up and fell into a watchful doze. The dog's nose twitched. A new smell. Not a deer. Not a dog. He raised his head and pointed his eyes and ears upwind, toward the smell. A shadow moved through the trees at the edge of the meadow.